When you're ready to go, slip into his seat over there and I'll drive you.
This guy's a huge fan on
you. Appreciate you, buddy.
Good job.
Boy, was this the only moment you was waiting for? This was it. This was it, right? This was it. The cherry on top. This was it. All the work was about this. That's it. This is the end, man. You know what I mean? So, we made it, baby. We here. We here. All the talking, you know, good fighter, bad fighter. He beat this guy, didn't beat that. The debate is over, man. It doesn't matter no more.
Andre, can I just sneak in for one photo, please?
Dre, I know you mentioned it a second ago, but
congratulations.
it sounded like you thought it was destiny that you're getting in with Bernard and Tony.
I knew that sounded like Sean. I know that voice.
What's up, Andre?
What's up, man?
Congrats, man.
Thank you, bro.
But it sounded like you thought it was almost, you know, like destiny or something, getting in with Bernard and Floyd, the guys, your muses, the guys you looked up to.
I mean, it's just, to me, it's crazy. I can't understand it. You know, like, I understand they went later, I retired. I get that part of it. I'm saying, like, that's dope right there.
You like that?
That's my case. Hold on one second, I'm sorry.
Please, can I get a little room? Do one more.
Yeah. It just, that part, like, I don't understand how I got in a year after Bernard, me and Floyd getting in at the same time, and then a year before Roy. I don't register. Like, I'm an amateur watching these guys. You know, I wrote Roy a letter, and Brad Jacobs was, you know, running his company Square Ring, but I'm an amateur. Like, I get in a year before him. You know, I grew up watching and respecting Floyd and what he brought to the game, you know, in terms of his boxing, and same thing with Bernard. So I grew up watching Layla Ali, like it's Ann Wolf, like it's just hard to register, bro.
Yeah, it almost didn't look right. All these OG legends and then Dre, who fought.
But I feel like this is a new look though. Younger and younger and younger. You know what I mean? Like, people, they look at a career and they see 13. Y'all, you only did it 13 years. Nah, you got to add in that decade as an amateur too.
Yeah.
So that's 23 years. And then you got to look at the year I started at 9 years old. So when you do the math, you start at 9, you retire at 33. It don't seem like it's too short then, huh? So I hope, man, that, you know, I know everybody's story is different. Like, Bernard started late, so he's got to get his on the back end. Everybody's story is different. I'm not saying that my story is for everybody, but I hope that this can be the new look where we're getting in with the guys we grew up watching. And I want people saying you retired too early. I'd rather you say that than to say I retired too late. And people looking at me like, man, he ain't doing too good. See what I mean? So, yeah. So this is, man. I don't know if I'm more excited to get the induction or to be looking to the left and the right, people that sit next to me. I don't know, because I'm very much still a boxing fan, like I'm a real fan. And it just takes me back to my childhood, being a kid watching Gillette Tuesday night fights, and like seeing all these dudes. Like, it's crazy. Like, I see a Layla, I see a Aaron Wolf, and I'm like, man, that's Layla Ali. I don't really get excited about celebrities and what people have and stuff. Don't excite me, but people that I know walk the walk that I walk, I got respect for it, man. I got respect for it.
Who was better in the Rock?
But they also walk the path like you.
Yes,
Who was
sir.
better in the Rock?
So it's more about quality over quantity. Get the fights that matter in.
I mean, just
get out with your health and your money.
Do what you got to do for you, you know?
Yeah.
But I just feel like the days are like, and again, everybody's story is different. You know, if I looked up and I didn't have what I was supposed to have, I would have to go on.
You would have had something else.
So, but I am saying, do what you got to do. So when you're tired and you're ready to walk, you can walk. And you're gonna have people chirping and he should have did this, he should have did, because y'all not getting in there. But when you make it here, when you walk on these grounds, the debate is over. You can still debate. It's really no debate. It's over with.
And a lot of those legends that have been enshrined here, some of them may have wanted to stop fighting, but had to keep going, right?
But that's the thing, though. You know, for most of us, this is what we know. There's no fallback plan. There's no contingency plan. So if the money's not right or whatever, you know, gotta do what we gotta do. But that's why, for me, man, I try to do my part to speak out about things like the sanction fees. And I know I get brushed to the side, but we're gonna keep talking about it, because that stuff doesn't make sense to me. And it's funny, I had somebody say, well, you posted these belts, but you were talking out about the sanction fees. I paid for them. Every single one of them.
They don't know what you're doing.
If we're giving these sanctioning bodies houses, cars, and tuition, and we can't tell you, right? They tell us, you guys need to watch your money and be responsible.
Yeah, but they're taking half of it.
Part of being responsible is knowing where my money's going. They can't answer for us where the money's going. And I know Mauricio Suleiman sent me a message saying, well, sending me all these documents about these funds and different things like that. I don't, number one, that's not tangible for me. I don't see where that's helping people, number one. Number two, if my money's gonna go to help somebody else, I should have a say on if I'm paying into that or not. But how is that helping me? Where's my pension plan? Where's my medical? Where's my health? So this is what I tell the sanctioning bodies, and I've been wanting to do this, but why not? It's the perfect place. Man, and this isn't like a challenge. I'm not like trying to argue with them, but I really want to gain some understanding. If they can educate me and say, hey, you didn't know about this, this is what, hey, I would love that. That'd put me at ease. And it's nothing personal with these guys. I've had good relationships with these sanctioning bodies to a point. But let's have an open forum when we talk about it.
They don't want to because they rather.
Let's have an open forum when we talk about it. It could be individually. I can take them one at a time. BC, BA, IBF, BO. When is the money? Where's the money go? Who came up with 3%? Why is it not optional to pay for this? Why is boxing one of the only sports, if not the only sport, where you got to pay to compete for a championship? Why don't we have any say in this? Who's watching you guys with the rankings to make sure that the people you put in certain positions are people that should be in certain positions to fight for certain belts? Let's talk about it.
Well, it seems like sometimes they do what the promoters want them to do. You know, they'll call one fight, they'll say this is a mandatory now, and then it's like they get a phone call and never mind, it's not the mandatory.
So we know what we know, but I don't want to. I want to give them an opportunity to speak for themselves. And let's give some clarity to the fans. Let's give some clarity to the media. Let's give some clarity to the fighters that are paying into this. Because how do they survive if we don't pay into that? That's how my brain works. Maybe I'm a little bit too radical with it, but my thing is, if we don't pay, how do y'all eat? So we can't say that, oh, we want our fighters to be better off when they retire, when there's 7 hands in the pot. So when I get my check, sanction fee, this, that.
Say a $2 million.
And then you're bound contractually, right? Like, if it was up to me and I didn't have a contract with Kovalev to give him a shot at the belts the second time, I'd have dropped all those belts. I don't need them. So they get you in the beginning, right? You want to be a champion. I want to be a champion. You just want to touch that belt. But then you get it and it's like, man, this belt ain't even real. Like it means something.
So what do you think all this undisputed that's been like people
I mean,
are talking about?
I
a lot
love
right
it
now.
to a point. Like the dudes that are taking a risk to do it, I understand it. I'm like, man, do that. That's legacy stuff. But then my business hat comes on right away, and I'm like, well, man, you're paying for a sanctioning body.
They don't think that's the problem. They don't want people to think. They want people to just
10% of your
step
full
in line and agree.
So that's why I've always kind of been, I don't even know how to describe myself and like what I've been to the sport, but like I get into good trouble, man, in boxing because I don't have a problem, like, and I can do it with a smile on my face, challenging the status quos, challenging stereotypes, and challenging things that have been in boxing and nobody can really tell me why they're in boxing. Why does a manager get 33 and a third in boxing? Off the gross.
Should be negotiable.
Why is 25% the norm? Why is 20% the norm? Why is 10% the norm? Why are we paying 3% to sanction fees? Who came up with that? Why does a promoter get 25% at times depending on the situation? Why does a fighter, if they lose a fight, all the minimums that they worked hard to negotiate, we can renegotiate those or we can let you go. But if you do something, I can't walk away from my contract. So I know we're not supposed to talk about this stuff. I know we're supposed to just keep our head down and keep going along and get along. But I'm just not wired like that. Like I can go along to a point, but then at a certain point, I'm gonna start asking some tough questions. So what does that have to do with the Hall of Fame? All of this stuff is intertwined. Because every fighter that's getting inducted, they had to face this, they had to deal with this. And when you call it quits, you're looking at them bank accounts like, man, do I have what I'm supposed to have? And then you start to do the math. We giving sanctioning bodies cars, tuition, and houses. That's a problem. We need some clarity, and we need some oversight over these sanctioning bodies so they can't just do what they want to do and rank somebody arbitrarily or strip somebody arbitrarily. I got real stories that happened to me. Real stories. So even though we don't want to talk about it, we need to talk about it. And I'm going to continue to talk about it, no matter the cost.
You want something for the fighters in return.
You got to have it. Yeah. If we don't fight, there is no what the media going to cover. If we don't fight, how's the promoter make money?
Sanctioning bodies don't need either.
If we don't fight, that's how I think. Why don't we have a union? The promoters, I don't know what happened to it, but the promoters formed a union about 10, 12, 13 years, something like that. They went to New York, and I'm like, man, I see all these promoters that everybody says don't like each other, and I see all these signatures on here. They met, and they came together. I don't know what came of it. Why can't we have a union?
War for president.
The problem. Next time.